Okay, great. Let me welcome everyone to this Energy Stewardship webinar with the Montgomery County Green Bank in partnership with the Chinmaya mission. And our agenda for today would be a welcome and introduction by Risha Agarwala, introduction to the Montgomery County Green Bank by Tom Deo. We'll go over energy efficiency, renewable energy, and we'll have a short Q&A. Now let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy, Tom, and Josh for joining us from the Green Bank. Tom is the CEO of Montgomery County Green Bank. Cindy is a program manager, and Josh is helping making things run smoothly. We are very interested in what we can do to for climate going forward, and specifically as residents of Montgomery County, as well as owners of buildings for faith communities. So our congregation has buildings in Montgomery County as well as in Virginia. So right now, Montgomery County Green Bank has programs for Montgomery County. They hope to expand to the rest of Maryland soon. So thanks for coming. Cindy, please take over.
Well, thank you. This is Tom Deo. Thank you for inviting us to this webinar, and hopefully we'll provide you some level of information to help you think about energy efficiency, renewable energy for largely for your families and your homes, but we also support commercial organizations of which the buildings of the mission are part of that, and I think there'd be some opportunities there in order to work with you all if you choose to look at more energy efficiency, renewable energy in those properties too. But Sydney, if you'll go to the next, just click through this if you would.
Sure.
So just so you understand, the Montgomery County Green Bank, we're a nonprofit as well. Even though that says bank in our title, we actually are not a bank. We're a green bank, and a green bank is a different type of an organization. We were actually established by the county. Our charter comes from a county that is determined that they wanted to establish a green bank, which would help accelerate investment in the county in energy efficiency and renewable energy. We're an independent 501c3, but the way we work is we were provided a base amount of capital from the county that came from the Pepco-Exelon merger a number of years ago. We were given about $14 million of that capital in order to work in the way a green bank works, which is use that money in partnership with other financial institutions to create more affordable, flexible lending products or investment products that can be made available to either homeowners or to commercial businesses to undertake energy efficiency or renewable energy. So we're not a bank in that we don't take deposits and we don't make loans directly, but we work with other lending institutions and basically use our money to take the risk out of it or their perceived risk of doing this type of business in order for them to create a more affordable and flexible product. So the areas that we've been working in, we will have a homeowner product, which is largely what we're going to be talking about today. And Cindy McCabe, who's our residential solar manager, will walk you through that product. But it's really a product that we've done in partnership with another lender called Clean Energy Credit Union to create a lower interest rate and more flexible lending for energy efficiency and renewable energy. And Cindy will go through what both of those things are so that you have a feel for what that is. We've also got a loan program that works with commercial entities. Churches, faith-based institutions are in that space, as well as condominiums and multifamily rental. And that's another loan program. We largely have it in partnership with Sandy Spring Bank, in which they bring a greater flexible loan product to the table to support those entities. We also have a program that supports commercial solar, again, faith-based institutions being in that same space. And it works differently in that you, in fact, can deliver solar with no out-of-pocket costs for the nonprofits. And so we're really excited about that. That's actually just launching this month, but it'll make available to any institution that wants to undertake a commercial solar on their property an opportunity to do that where they have no out-of-pocket costs and yet get some of the benefits of that solar production. And then the last thing we're working on is in the area of community solar. which we're really excited about too, where our first project's going to come out of the ground in the next 60 days. And community solar is a way that if you're a renter or a homeowner that's got a lot of shade and you have no ability to do solar on your home, you can actually participate in the solar economy by subscribing into a community solar offering. And you pay a subscription rate, but then you get the benefit of that solar generation on your utility bill. And usually that solar subscription is 10, 15, 20% less than what you would pay the utility for that electricity. And so it's a way for you to participate in it. You had mentioned you participated in Clean Choice. That's one way on your utility bill that you can do it. This is a different way in which you can actually participate very locally in a community solar project. This isn't a webinar to talk about that, but it's an important thing, and I think it's another valuable opportunity for households to participate in solar if they don't want to directly put it on their properties. So we're excited about that. In each one of these instances, we've used our investment in partnership with other financial partners to make these projects available. And on the community solar front in particular, our investment assures that at least 30% of the subscriptions in there are available to low and moderate income households. So we always have a purpose in what we're trying to do, either to deliver more flexibility, reduced rate, or to assure that there's a low and moderate income component to the work we're doing. So we're excited about the work. We started in 2016. It's taken a little bit of time. It takes a little time to sort of organize these things, but we feel right now we've got quite a good set of offerings to support projects in the county. We've at this point we've supported about $2.5 million worth of energy efficiency, renewable energy projects in the county, and about a dozen households are now participating in our program through the homeowner program that Cindy will be talking about, which actually just launched this last year. And so we're really excited about the fact that it's helping sort of a number of homeowners undertake solar energy and on their properties. So we're thankful, we're grateful for being here, and we're not only, again, a nonprofit making these offers available, and again, they're available to Montgomery County residents. And so if you're outside of Montgomery County, these programs presently are only available in Montgomery County, but the homeowner program, we're hopeful will soon be available statewide as we're working with another partner organization, but that's to be a 2021 activity. So for right now, the programs we're talking about are available to only those who live and reside in Montgomery County. But that's our charter, and that's our marketplace. So I'm going to turn it over to Cindy, who's now going to take you through the other part of what we try to do as an entity, which is educate the community about what energy efficiency is, renewable energy, and then how our programs can support you if you choose to take on activity in that area. So Cindy, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Tom. And thank you for having us here today. So I wanted to just start to think about why the Montgomery County Green Bank would be speaking to your congregation today. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Risha or Raja, can you tell everybody why we should care for the planet, just briefly?
Actually, if you ask me, that's what our scriptures talk about. Basically, the planet is a gift to us. And that's the main reason why we should care. When we care for our family, we should be caring for something it's providing to us. That's one of the main reasons. And in the scriptures, Earth is supposed to be one of the kind of a goddess. So we give that kind of a level of respect and devotion to Earth. So for us, that is the most important thing we should be considering. And all throughout our scriptures, we talk of the same thing, that maintenance and prevention of your planet and taking care of your planet is your responsibility. It's not just something to be done as a part of it. It's just your responsibility. When you get something from anybody, you are responsible for taking care of that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Risha, I don't know if you wanted to add anything onto that.
Yeah, so the last part where Raja was mentioning, when you take something, it's part of our pledge to say to produce more than what we consume. So whatever we take from natural resources, we are supposed to be able to give back more than what we are taking. That's part of our pledge that we take at Chinmaya Mission every week. So I would say that. And also, if you don't want viruses in the again, that's another reason, very practical reason right now.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
And
I couldn't have said
Cindy,
it any better. Tom.
Yep. So those were wonderful, and I think express the the most important approach to the work we do. I would just also offer for why the Montgomery County Green Bank is also here to support the county's very strong efforts in order to sort of advance that stewardship in the county. Right. That they just released their climate action plan, which was all about trying to take many different actions in order to sort of be those good stewards of the planet and to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions down to zero by the year 2035. Hugely ambitious goal, doable, but it does require all participants to in the county to get there. And the products that we'll be talking about here, how to do it, how energy efficiency, renewable energy are components to sort of helping the families and the households, participate in that county goal. So that's part of our measure of work as well, all about trying to get to caring for the planet. So
Thanks, Tom. I think everybody has a wonderful way to put the answer to this question. And for the rest of you on this webinar, you can go ahead and put your reason in the chat if you like. We're going to keep going here. So let's start with energy efficiency, a little bit of a 101, and then we'll go into ways to finance projects. So what is an energy efficiency upgrade? If you already know the answer, feel free to share it in our chat if you like. I'm just going to go through a little bit. So energy efficiency would be reducing the energy consumption in your home as far as heating your home, cooling it, and any of the electrical equipment like your light bulbs, your refrigerator, your washer and dryer, and things like that. So
actually, Cindy, can I stop you for a second? Since we have only 2 attendees, do you mind if I allow them to talk also?
I don't mind.
Okay, so let me do that because why should they feel left out?
Right.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
So why does it matter how much electricity we consume or the efficiency of what we use in our home? So if you have something in your home, for example, an appliance that uses electricity, and you swap it out for something that uses less electricity or is more energy efficiency, it can reduce your utility bill. So that's something that we all have in common, wanting to reduce our utility bills, right? It also would address the comfort in your room. So you might feel cold, you might feel too warm in different places in your room, and it could address that as well. It also can improve the indoor air quality. This is important, especially at this time while we're in a pandemic. A lot of us are thinking about air quality inside our homes. So that's another thing you can think about for energy efficiency. So let's talk about what steps you can take to improve the efficiency of your home. So air leakage reduction is the first one. And if you think about any places in your home where air might be coming in or out, any cracks that you have or any holes that you might have, just sealing those to make your home not leak any air. Insulation, so that's what this picture is here. There's a person adding insulation to the attic to reduce the amount of cool air and heat air exchange. And you can also seal the air ducts around your home to keep the air in. You can swap your electric or gas heating for a higher efficiency version, and you can upgrade your cooling system or your hot water heater system. Of course, there's lighting. There are energy efficient LED light bulbs, and that's an easy way to go ahead and improve your energy efficiency. And then the building envelope. So what is a building envelope? The building envelope consists of the roof of the home, the subfloor, or what's underneath your floor, exterior doors, windows, and exterior walls. And you can think of your building envelope as very tight and sealed or a little bit looser. So you may see room for improvement there as well. So what help is out there for homeowners? There are energy audits available to assess what opportunities there may be. A lot of the utilities offer a free quick audit that you can check out if you haven't already done so. There are utility incentives available as well in the form of rebates, and those are grant rebates that we can take advantage of. There are weatherization programs that are income qualified that we'll talk about in the next coming slides, and they can address safety and energy issues. And then lastly, there's financing available from the Montgomery County Green Bank. We have a Clean Energy Advantage program, which we'll talk about a little bit later, that can help you fund any of these projects.
Cindy, sorry.
Go ahead,
Back up there. Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize the first point there about the energy audits. I think these are very important activities, and they can actually be free to the homeowner. And you said you could talk about there's two different levels of audits there, but an energy audit is a way for the homeowner to understand how their building is functioning. You know, to those points raised earlier, the leakage in it, the insulation, but it really gives an assessment of the property, where the opportunities are to make those improvements, and then a method and a strategy to make improvement. You may not want to undertake them all, or you may want to decide, okay, I'm going to do step 1 this year, step 2 next year, but it's a way to sort of think about how to bring the property into a more energy efficiency state, which does reduce your operating costs, right? The less energy you use, the less money you're paying the utility for that cost. It also does the environmental benefit too. The less energy you're consuming, the less greenhouse gas emissions you're emitting as well. But Cindy, why don't you just take a moment to talk about the different audits there, because I think that's an important feature that not everybody everybody takes advantage of, but it's a great first important step.
Sure. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for reminding me about that. So the quick audit that I mentioned is free through your utility company. You would sign up at your utility company's website, and that's just a brief assessment. And they may swap out some of your light bulbs if needed, just to let you know what opportunities there are. The second audit it's discounted, but there is a fee for it. I believe, Tom, you said it's about $100, and that does a more intensive audit of your home to check the amount of air exchange inside to outside, any kind of crawl space improvements that might be needed, and some of the other improvements that we mentioned. And that second audit is needed in order to go ahead and start to access some of the utility rebates that are available. So I would encourage homeowners to get both of those done, if possible.
And just to stay with the utility incentives there. So this is $3 that everyone that pays has available to them. They're not free per se. You're actually contributing to these on every one of your utility bills. You'll see a line item on there that money goes into an Empower Maryland fund. That's the fund that's used by the utility companies to then provide the rebates. You might find them the easiest way, an appliance. You go in and you want to buy an appliance. The ones that have a greater energy efficiency are the ones that you'll find you get a rebate for. It's an incentive to try to get you to move up instead of going for the lowest cost one, which probably has the least amount of energy efficiency. Go up a little bit, get a more energy efficiency one, but get a little money back on that. Try to bridge the gap between the lower cost and the higher. Great there. And they also, if you decide to go on to more energy efficiency programs, there's another set of dollars out there that actually help offset the cost of undertaking that work. And the contractors that are out there that do this work are very informed about this and can help the homeowners understand exactly what to do. So.
Great. Raja, did you want to tell us about your scheduled audit?
Actually, I have just scheduled it. It's supposed to happen on 20th. And when I had the first audit, somebody did come and check my house for lights and all that. And I have been using LEDs for a long time. So that was one thing. But this one I wanted to get done. And I have scheduled one. So it's going to happen on 20th of this month. And then after that, he said he will recommend what I need to do. But there are some areas where I do have heating and cooling problems. And, every time PEPCO sends you that where you stand in your consumption, best, good, or worse. So I'm always in that good range. I said, let me see how I can move it up.
There you go.
Wonderful.
And how does it work for the condominiums, condominium buildings? Does the condominium management have to request, or individual owners of condominiums can, or renters, for example?
That's a great question. I think that either can request it. Tom, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, for the homeowners, if you're a condominium owner, you can get an audit because you basically have that utility bill and you're a homeowner, so that would qualify. Renters, I think they can get the Q check. I don't think that they can get the more deep audit as a renter. So
Okay, they can definitely encourage their landlord or the owner of the home to get one. I would suggest for all the renters. All right, so let's keep going here. We'll talk a little bit about Maryland's home energy efficiency programs that are available. So these programs basically help low-income households with the installation of energy conservation measures in their homes. So some of the items that we mentioned may be available at no charge for folks that own their home and qualify. That's wonderful. So if you want to check if you're eligible, yep, please do so. Definitely. Once your eligibility is determined, you'll get a notice in the mail to contact a local agency to schedule an energy audit inspection. And if your home or unit permits, energy efficiency items could include insulation, hot water system improvements, new lighting, furnace cleanup. They do want to check to make sure your furnace is safe and that there couldn't be any kind of combustion possible. So they would check your furnace for that. Burner retrofit or replacement, and health and safety items. So for health and safety items, basically they want to check healthy air exchange standards, make sure that the air coming in and out is healthy. And as I mentioned, the combustion safety standards as well. So any kind of items that would bring your home to compliance along with the work that's being done. So who qualifies? Homeowners that are below 200% of the federal poverty level who can prove ownership of the home or unit. That's the first set of folks that qualify. And then tenants of rental units below 200% of the federal poverty level when the landlord agrees to participate and the landlord can prove ownership. So that's great. If you want to check if you qualify and apply, I'm listing here the two websites that are available. If you just Google those as well, they should come up. But of course, you can let us know if you need any help accessing that information. Let's talk a little bit about our Clean Energy Advantage program. There are loans available for energy efficiency and renewable energy, and they're available between $3,000 and $50,000. They do have a minimum credit score for qualifying of 640. The rates are fixed for the term of the loan, and there are no prepayment penalties, which is great. Loans are provided by the Clean Energy Credit Union. You want to note that they're not provided by the Montgomery County Green Bank. They're provided by our participating credit union. And for the energy efficiency loans, which is the slides we just went over, the rates are available between 3 and 10 years from 2.75 to 7.49%. Excuse me. So that can change depending upon the term of the loan and if your loan is secured or unsecured, depending upon the upgrade in question. I'm going to just take a quick drink.
And while you're doing that, I'll just sort of from a process point, because I don't think we have a process slide, but the real informed parties out there are the contractors that you can find on the PEPCO website that do the energy performance, energy improvement work. They're very knowledgeable. They're the ones that can do those audits that we talked about. They can help inform about what the utility rebates are. If you qualify for the Maryland incentive, the Maryland incentives that were talked about, they can help understand those. And then they also understand our program, the Clean Energy Advantage program, so they can help you think about, okay, I've got a need. Here's what it is that the improvements to look for, what kind of utility programs can come offset that cost, what's left, and how to, if you have your own resources to cover it, great. If you need other resources, that's when they can sort of talk to you about the Clean Energy Advantage program as a resource to cover any remaining costs that you might need, and find the rate and the term that would work, so that the hope is that those improvements create a lower cost to you because you're saving, and so some of that cost benefit can go to help pay for the improvement itself, and the loan can help you get there. So we're trying to provide a route for you to get to the idea of making that improvement and not stumbling over, I don't have all the resources readily available, but you can access those resources so that you can undertake that work. So.
Thank you, Tom. Great points. So where are we in our agenda? We did our welcome, we did our intro, we did our energy efficiency. So now we are at renewable energy. Sorry, little mistake there. This time for renewable energy now. So you might know what that first picture is on the top right, right? But who knows what that picture is on the bottom right? You can go ahead and unmute yourself if you do. What is it showing? You can guess.
Geothermal.
Raja, you're muted, and I think I hear someone else.
Geothermal.
Geothermal, yes.
Oh. Yeah, I was doing the same thing, the heat pump. Geothermal, right?
You got it. Wonderful. Yes, so let's talk a little bit about solar first. So basically you'd have photovoltaic panels on most likely the roof of your home that generate electricity from the sun for use in your home. And that would reduce usage from the utility. Next one is geothermal. Got it right. Very good. Basically, it's underground installation of piping that uses naturally occurring earth temperatures to cool and heat your home. And I've heard from folks that have geothermal that it just feels like you're wrapped in a warm blanket by Mother Earth herself. Isn't that nice? So let's talk about why you would want to use renewable energy. So environmentalist, as I am, that's my first reason right there, but the order that you have these in might be a little bit different. Renewable energy projects can add value to your home if you own them, and they can lower your energy costs, which is great. We all have that bottom one in common, that we all want to lower our energy costs. So let's talk a little bit about solar quickly. So how does solar work? So basically you'd have your solar panels on the roof. Real quick, I just want to point out that there are no solar panels on the middle of the roof of this house because there's a dormer there. So you want to think a little bit about your roof and what's up there, what's flat and what's not flat. You can put solar panels where there are no obstructions and where the sun shines mostly. The orange tube is conduit. It's a metal pipe that goes down to your inverter if you have your inverter on the side of your home. Oh, we have a hand raised. Raja, do you want to?
Roof?
Sorry?
A slate roof.
You have a slate roof?
Stone. Right.
Right. Okay. For a slate roof, you wouldn't be able to have solar panels. Slate roofs are very good roofs, so I would recommend keeping it for as long as the life of the roof allows. But you can't put solar panels on a slate roof, unfortunately. Congratulations for having a wonderful roof, though. And we can talk about other ways to improve your energy efficiency. Sorry?
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. No problem. Then we have the electricity going from the inverter, which changes the electricity from direct current to alternating current, to your electrical panel, which feeds all of the different appliances and loads in your home, and to the utility grid. And also I put in here remote monitoring. So the inverter has a monitoring device inside, which can see how much electricity is produced. You can view that on your monitoring platform as well. I thought I heard someone say something, no? Okay. So what benefits do homeowners get from solar? So a solar system would provide the home with energy, and it would reduce the amount of electricity that you use from the utility company. Any extra solar that your home does not need in the moment is metered back to the utility company, and the homeowner gets credits on their utility bill. So it would reduce the usage that you would have at night, for example, when the solar panels are not producing. The homeowner can take a federal tax credit for 26% if the homeowner has enough tax liability. That's important. And if you're not sure if you have enough tax liability, I always recommend you speak to your accountant. If you have battery backup added to your solar system, your home can even have electricity when there's a blackout, which is wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about how those credits work when that solar goes back to the grid, and you can get credits for that electricity that you sell back to the utility. We call that net energy metering. So obviously the solar system generates electricity. And where does that power go that goes back to the grid? It doesn't go all the way back to the utility company's generators. It just gets used by the closest neighbors that are pulling electricity in the moment. Your meter actually goes negative and the bill accumulates credit. And then the homeowner, of course, would need electricity again, most likely at night, if they're doing anything past 4:30 p.m. these days, right, during the winter time. And it would offset the credits that you sent back during the day. Oh, we have another hand. Did you want to unmute?
Yeah, it's me again. Aren't the utility companies battling this, sell energy back or get credit for energy back?
There was a as you call it, a battle. Not in this area, but over on the West Coast. Maryland itself is a very progressive state, so I don't think that our net metering is in danger, but it is a good point. In Nevada, there was a net metering standstill.
Rejection.
Yep, and it took a while to
And also
get it
Florida and Duke Energy in North Carolina.
Okay, I have to read up on those. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for bringing that up. So let's talk quickly about the Clean Energy Advantage loans for solar and geothermal. So no lien is placed on the property for these projects, which is great. The loan is secured with a UCC1 fixture filing. So that's just that the lender declaring that they own the fixture until the loan is paid off. Their solar loans that are available are short-term and long-term. Most commonly, they're combined, where a short-term covers the investment tax credit for 26% for those that qualify. You pay that off when you get that tax credit back in either 12 or 18 months. And then you have a long-term loan that covers the balance of a system with set monthly payments. You can do either or as well, either a short-term or a long-term. There are special solar interest rates for Montgomery County residents, and they're from 4.49 to 6.09. And we have 12 months, 18 months, and 12 years at those rates. And then for a 15-year, it's between 4.74 and 6.34. And you can see our 20-year there. Now you may have looked into solar and you may have seen different rates given to you by your installers. Sometimes the installers that don't use our Clean Energy Advantage have what we call a dealer fee or a financing fee. So you just want to check in with that. Our Clean Energy Credit Union, which provides the loans in this case, does not charge a finance fee or a dealer fee. That's one big difference that you just want to check into. So it actually does really change the total amount of the loan quite significantly. So if you do the math, you can see that you do save more over time with the Clean Energy Advantage. So that's where we are. We're coming back to the end here. Just wanted to stop for a moment and see if anybody had any questions. We are all through to the Q&A.